Welcome back to the Sparky Coach podcast. Rolling solo with Cam here. Thanks for tuning in. I wanted to have a bit of a conversation, a bit of a chat, a bit of a chin wag, whatever we want to talk about, or whatever we want to call it, sorry. A bit of a chat today around about around finding work and finding work with your existing client base. So what do I mean by that is finding work with what's in front of you. What opportunity is in front of you with your existing client base? What can you do to help them? How can you help them? How to identify things to help them with? So definitely having a look in that existing client base market. Rather than going out and finding more clients or new clients to add to your existing base, having the conversations with your existing clients to see how you can help them. Now, simple things that we can have a look at here is how can we service them more? And what I mean by that is what other opportunities are there within our realm of capabilities. So, for example, you may offer other services that may complement the particular client that you have, and they could be that, hey, we do data and comms cabling as well, so there could be an opportunity in that particular space. You could do air conditioning, you could do solar. There could be a number of bits and pieces that you do to have a look at with your existing client base. Now, the reasoning I think we all need to have a look at this is that in regards to our existing client base, they already know, like, and trust. So you've already got that relationship with them. So they are going to be okay to use you for any other works that they need. Now, how do you identify what is required for your particular client? Now, it's as simple as potentially just asking, spending the time and having the conversation with them. It may be swinging by the facilities that they work at or the location of their business and having a check around, having a look, having a bit of a survey of the site and the work area to see what other areas you can help them in. Often too, sometimes clients may not be aware of the services that you provide. So being proactive in this particular space can get you some more opportunities and more work that can in turn lead to, obviously it can strengthen the relationship probably also, but it just leads to a way of generating more work with not much, effort as required. And what I mean by that effort is that I mean that you're not trying to win over or woo that particular customer. They've already got that relationship with you, and like I said, they know, like, and trust you. So it's a lot easier to convert them into doing that particular work. So really simple bits and pieces that I see very often that are, I guess, right in front of us. The first one that springs to mind is there any compliance work that's required? Is there any type of electrical compliance that you can do for your particular customer to help them and help their workplace? Now, what I mean by electrical compliance is quite simply, is there any test and tagging needed? Is there any RCD testing needed? Is there switchboard inspections? Is there emergency lighting tested? Is there any routine maintenance that's required on any type of machinery or equipment that you may be able to take out? And this is work that becomes regular and routine based. So it's essentially, it's completed at particular intervals, whether it be monthly, 6 monthly, 12 monthly. And it's basically been able to be put into on your terms, in the sense that you remind them, you tell them what's required, and they go, yes, we need that done. Thanks so much for letting us know. And you go out and complete those works. Now, it is a way that you can ensure that your client is also compliant in regards to potentially any workplace health and safety or electrical compliance that they may require within the field they're at. So in turn, they will be thanking you to ensure that they meet their particular requirements. to ensure that they are covered and that they tick all the boxes that they need. Now, a lot of these things are required from a point of view of insurances. Now, it may not be directly stipulated that this needs to be done or this needs to occur at this particular time. However, when push comes to shove, when there's a particular incident on that occurs, so someone may get an electric shock or there may be something along those lines occurring, that when the insurance gets involved and they start to dig a little deeper, they're like, hey, no problems at all, look, can you just send us over all the compliance work that you've had done over the last 12 months, all the most recent compliance works of just your test and tag and your RCD testing, etc. And they're not able to produce that. That's when it becomes a real issue. So it is a way that you can build out regular work for yourself and your team while benefiting your clients from a compliance side of things. Now, one thing that really sort of, I guess, crosses my mind quite frequently here is how you can help your client out by going the extra mile, by having a look what's being required, and in turn helps you out in a business sense. Now, what I mean by that is by being able to get this compliance work, in particular, if we're just looking at this in a nutshell at the moment, in order, you're generating a workload that is going to be consistent at monthly, 3 monthly, 6 monthly, or 12 monthly intervals. And what you can do is you can make that work in your calendar for when you may have quieter times of year, or where you can stockpile it in altogether so that there's a period of time where, hey, each month we're going out and doing the testing, or every 2 months or every quarter, you can batch it together so that it could be a week of testing that's required, or a few days one quarter, a week the next quarter, and then a bit more for the annual testing when it occurs. One way you can look at it is if you can get a lot of annual testing done at the start of the year in January being generally a little bit of a slower start to your year. So a little bit slower start every year, just due to people coming back, not everyone being at full capacity, etc., things like that. It gives you the opportunity to be able to schedule these works in December, get the okay for it, and you can jump into the new year rolling with a heap of work already lined up and known, and it becomes regular and becomes consistent, and you've got the customer covered by being able to pick up that. So it's a really interesting one. There's a number of ways that you can go about it, also in the sense of how you're going to work your compliance side of things. There's machines that you can buy for testing, tagging, and RCD testing that spit out certain information on them, so they're customized. You can utilize job management programs or asset registries as well, so you can use the barcode system for that as well, so that you can create an asset register for your customer. So it makes it really easy. So then not only have you tested everything for the customer, you can also be like, hey guys, here's the 500 items that are on site. These were located in these particular locations, and they now have an asset register that they may be able to put a dollar value against if they need to, or they have an asset register that they can cross-reference against as items fail or come out of service and are replaced by other particular items, and they can also have a cost associated with that also, if required, to be able to get a budget together potentially as well, or get forecasting together to be able to know what their replacement of particular items are over a time frame as well. So it's twofold. It's getting tested, but then also can consolidate the asset register for the particular customer. So I think it's really important to have a look at. That's a really easy opportunity to have a look into for your existing client base with your compliance side of things. The next thing to have a look at and delve into is what opportunities can you offer to your existing client base that would help them out. Now, really simple ones that I can think of that I rattled off at the top of the pod here is that you can offer solar, air conditioning, or data if they do fall within your category, because they are fall within your licensing or fall within your expertise, because they are an area that is needed to be serviced quite regularly, but also too can be an area that is an add-on to the particular client that you're working for. Now, solar is a very simple one. I can work easy in a commercial space. Can also work quite easily in the residential space. With your clients, how you do a job for a particular residential client, mum and dad's type customer. It's like, hey, it can be, do you also know that we do solar? Or hey, we noticed that you've got a solar system here. Is it working to its optimum capacity? When was the last time you had it checked? Is it actually running to what it needs to be, or is there a fault on the system? Hey, we can offer you a service on this annually for X amount of dollars. We can put that into our schedule, and we can make sure that you're getting the benefits out of your system, because if the inverter's cooked, it's no good to them. It's not actually operating. Or if a string is down on the roof, of some panels, then it's not working to its 100% efficiency, and we need to have a look why. Alternatively, it's something that you can also look at for your commercial clients in the space of, hey, we've got a commercial client. They work out of a factory, a shed, a workplace of some sort. They complain to you about the cost of power and how high their power bill is. There's an opportunity there where you can potentially install, we'll give them the option of installing solar and seeing where they can seeing where they can then save money, because in a commercial place, optimum client for solar, because their peak hours of power usage also line up with your sun peak hours morning to night, because everyone goes home at the end of the day and there's minimal usage overnight. So there's potential in that capacity as well that you could have a look at. Hey, we can offer this particular customer a solar installation, but then there's also the ongoing maintenance of that, or ongoing annual servicing of that, to make sure that it's optimized, like I said before, or in regards to your residential clients. Another one that you can look at is, hey, with your builders that you're working for, your project managers or anyone like that, what add-on can we offer them? Hey, we also do solar. Is that something you need to have a look at to offer your clients? We're happy to offer this to you. So it's about asking the question and seeing what opportunity is in front of you already. And the last one, I guess, to finish on there, that's really quite simple to, I guess, have a look at, again, is in the air conditioning space. If it's something that you do, it's an area that you work in, is that most places have air conditioning. Now, if you're servicing them in an electrical capacity, there can be an opportunity that you could service them in an air conditioning capacity as well. Likewise too, if you have a client that there's opportunity for air conditioning to be installed, easy one to think of is, again, your builders, your project managers, etc., and things like that, is that, hey, is there an opportunity for us to get you some pricing in regards to the air conditioning component of the job? It's something that we're licensed in it, and we're happy to provide that to you. You can then become all-encompassing one-stop shop, and it really helps out the client, because then your client, because they're only dealing with one person then. Likewise, also, if you have a large residential base, there's also just the communication side of things. It could be an email, could be a phone call, could be a text message to be like, hey, we also offer these services. Is there anything that you need for us to have a look at, or have any needs in these particular areas? So they're just a couple of little areas that I think you can certainly have a look at, where you can add some value to your existing client base without having to really go to much extra effort. You already got them as a client. It's just about asking the question and seeing how you can assist them in other ways to make their life easier, and then in turn it increases your workload as such, without having to go out and find more clients for you. So I guess in a wrap of it all, ask the question, have a look at what work is in front of you with your existing client base. How can you service them more, and what opportunities have you walked by in the past? It is something that you can build out a lot of work from, and it can also build out a lot of trust with your client base, because they love what you do in the electrical space. It's just about what add-ons you can offer them in the other fields that you have expertise in, and other services that you offer them. So don't be afraid of what's in front of you. I guess it's the age-old sort of theory that most things we walk by just being a little bit ignorant to it. So have a look at when you're finding work, or you're after some more work, or you want to be servicing your clients to the best that you can. Have a look what's in front of you. have a look at your existing client base, see what services you can provide them, and see how you can help them more to, I guess, achieve what's required for them. So thanks very much for tuning in, and thanks for listening again, and look forward to catching up again in the future. Cheers.